Hey guys, today for you is Thursday, and that means it's Bible study day. But before that, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about some things. First of all, I had said in yesterday's video that I might share some of Kaylee's game with you, and I've decided not to because it's her first game of the season. She had another game, but it got rained out, so this is her first real game of the season, and I just want to be present. I don't want to think about a camera. I don't want to think about anything else. I just want to be watching her, not thinking about keeping up with this thing. You know? I know I could probably still do it. It wouldn't be a big deal, but I just want to be there. I don't want to be, I don't want to think about it. Plain and simple. You guys understand that? Anyway, I might share a game later on in the season, but this time I'm not. Let's see. Today's chores are sheets and towels, and I need to clean the bathroom, but I'm putting off cleaning the bathroom until tomorrow. And the reason why I'm putting off cleaning the bathroom until tomorrow is because I just don't want to do it today, because I've already gotten dressed, and whenever I clean the bathroom, well, I'll put it this way. If I clean it, it will be after we get back from the game, and I won't be recording anymore. So, there's that. I might go ahead and clean it before I jump in the shower, because it doesn't take any time at all to do it. But I'm the type of person that once I clean the toilet, I don't want to go anywhere. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to be around anyone until I shower. Even though I know I'm not getting it on me, I know that I'm clean. It's just a mental thing. So, I'm not cleaning the bathroom until maybe tomorrow. Which, it doesn't matter. Tomorrow's chores. What are tomorrow's chores? What are your chores? What are your chores? Tomorrow, it's just like filling up all the things and vacuuming and mopping, so I can do that all tomorrow. So it's not a big deal to swap it out. You guys know that I said I was just going to kind of swap it out. Really, as long as all the things get done in the week, I don't care. But I do want to wash my sheets and towels the same day, because I just feel like that's the day I want to do it. It just feels more comfortable to me that way. So anyways, there's that. And I did want to talk to you about something else. As you can see, I'm not sitting in my desk chair. Don't know why I led up with this that way, but I'm just going to tell you. What am I trying to say? Okay, so I kind of lost my train of thought because I started talking about the desk chair instead of what I wanted to talk about first. The desk chair will be talked about. I wanted to kind of give you an update on my back situation. You guys know that it's been almost, let's see, almost 13 weeks since my surgery. I think. No, almost 11 weeks. Anyway, 2.5 months. And I wanted to let you know how I'm doing, because you guys have been with me since the pain really got bad. And I can't say since the pain started, because first of all, it started before I started YouTube, and second of all, I didn't talk to y'all about it for a very, very long time. Every once in a while I might have said my back hurt, but I didn't really talk to y'all about it till last year. So y'all have been with me for a while on this journey of hoping to fix my back. So I can say right now that since my surgery, the pain has not been anywhere near as bad. But you know that I told you, if you've been around, that my doctor told me it could take 9 months to a year before the nerve heals, if it ever heals completely. And that is what I'm having now, is nerve pain. I think. I also think it might be some muscle pain, but he told me it may be 6 to 9 months before that actually heals. I think it was 6 to 9. He said it'd be a while anyway, before the actual muscle heals. So, I still do have some pain all the time, like an uncomfortableness, I guess, is what I guess you could call it. But I started kind of paying attention recently, like thinking about, well, if I sit like this, do I hurt worse? If I sit in this chair, do I hurt worse? If I stand too long, do I hurt worse? If I lay this way, if I do, if I do this or that or the other, what makes me have more pain and what makes me feel okay? And that desk chair hurts me a lot. And I had conversations with Jeff and Noah since then, which Noah and Selena told me a long time ago that chair was horrible. Right after I bought it, they hated it. I liked it at first, but then I really don't like it. I have not liked it in a long time. I think I've had it about 3 years now, maybe. Something like that. I'm not sure. And I've never recommended it to you guys that I can remember, and I hope I haven't anyways, but they hated it. Noah still hates it. Selena does too, I guess, but she probably hasn't changed her opinion about it. But they told me that it was not comfortable, that it was not good for you, whatever. And it's supposed to be ergonomical. It's supposed to have the lumbar support. It's supposed to, have all this, the neck support, all this stuff. Well, it is a very uncomfortable chair. And so I brought the thing in here that Jeff had built me right after he built my desk to sit at my desk at. It's just like a trunk, I guess, with a cushion on top. I really don't know what to call it. But anyway, it's a very sturdy piece of furniture that he built me like right after he built the desk to sit at the desk, and I brought it in here, and the chair has been hurting me a lot. And I've also realized that the recliner that we picked up off the side of the road, y'all remember that one that I was talking about, and I was like, is this weird? Have you done it? And some of you have done things like that and got some beautiful pieces of furniture. Jeff and Noah, it's fine for them. I can't sit in it for very long without hurting. I can't sit in the other recliner. I can't sit in any of this furniture in my living room without hurting. And Jeff has been asking me for probably 2 years, because I thought that my back problems were coming from that couch because I was sitting on the Chase Lounge. So if y'all remember, I told y'all about it because there used to be a piece of plywood under the cushions. I thought that the reason why my back was hurting was because the couch was too soft. Then I thought it was hurting because the plywood made it too hard. No, that is not why I was hurting at all. But anyway, I can't sit on any of this furniture. And Jeff has been asking me for probably 2-3 years. I don't know. At least 2 years. Let's go. Do you want to go buy a new couch? Do you want to do, all this stuff? Do you want to go buy you a new recliner? And I'm like, no, I don't want to buy anything because everything we've gotten still hurts. So it's like, I don't want to go buy something and then have the same problem. Sitting on this trunk, this is what I'm going to call it, my desk trunk. Sitting on this, I feel better sitting on it whenever I'm sitting here. Now, let me say something else. When I am reclined in the older recliner that we have, it's okay. But it's just when I'm sitting in a position of sitting up. But when I'm reclining, it's fine. Now, the one we picked up off the road, it's not fine for me. I think it's actually too soft. Now, Jeff and Noah, they sit in it, they're fine. They don't have any problems. It's comfortable for them. But the whole reason we picked it up is because I wanted to try it out for me. We don't need it otherwise. So we may be getting rid of that. We may be donating it somewhere because there's nothing wrong with it. But anyways, Jeff has been talking to me about maybe getting a new sofa or something. And I have been to other people's houses and I've sat on their sofas and I've, you know, kind of evaluated, like, different family members. You know, well, what do I like about this one? Is it comfortable for me? You know, that kind of thing. So I've kind of narrowed down some things. I need a sofa with a higher back because I need cervical spine support. Because at times you want to lean back. Like with this, I can't lean back. There's no back. So I would need that. I need one with a deep cushion because I need to be able to sit back with my legs a certain way or I hurt worse. And I want one that the back cushions come off so I can just wash those. That's nothing to do with comfort. That's just because I want to be able to wash all the cushion covers if possible. So what I would want in a sofa, I'm going to have to try to find and search for, and it's going to have to be one that's in stock so I can sit on it and so I can, you know, get a feel for it. And right now, we don't have time to go shop. So maybe after we move into the mobile home, we will go grocery shopping. What are you talking about, woman? We're going to do that, I'm sure. We're going to go sofa shopping. Because we're going to need something. And Jeff does not like the couch. The recliner, the brown one, is actually Noah's, and it's going to go into his room. And the other recliner, Jeff can take it or leave it, you know. So we're going to need to do something. But I have found that certain places I sit are worse. The desk chair makes my back worse. Sitting in the truck actually helps my back, which is strange. But a vehicle seat, they're kind of firm but soft. You don't just like sink down into it. It's just kind of like a gentle cushion, I guess. What is that word? What are those? I don't know. Anyway, it's comfortable to sit in the truck. Who knew? I don't have problems sitting in it. Our dining room table, those chairs, sitting in those is okay for a certain amount of time, long enough to eat a meal. I'm good. But if I sit in it, like if I wanted to play a card game or something like that, it wouldn't be comfortable. But I think that's for everybody, because Jeff and Noah and Selena even, none of them really liked to sit in those chairs very long. We're not getting rid of the chairs, but that's just something, you know, I thought about that I want to talk to y'all about, because all of these things might help you if you ever go through this stuff. I haven't even drank a sip and I made it already. This is one reason why I use the tumblers, because it keeps it hot. But, those things, okay, the way I'm sitting, what I'm sitting in, either can make my back worse or not bother it at all, is what I'm trying to say. Now my bed is fine. Don't have any problems with it. Like sleeping, you know, that kind of thing. So that's not a problem. I did find, and I don't know if this is because maybe I overstretched and I haven't been exercising these muscles very much, but whenever I did the cabinets, my back was more sore. I had more pain for a couple of days, but it went away pretty quickly. I think that is because of I haven't been doing those actions until that day that I cleaned the kitchen, or those 2 days. The bottom cabinets didn't bother me. It was the top. So I think I should have got my little stool and stood on it for the top cabinets, honestly. I think I stretched too far up, too fast, or whatever. I don't really know. I mean, I haven't been released from the doctor that long. So that I need to be a little bit more careful with until I get those muscles back into action and doing things, getting strengthened. When I've been down at the mobile home, painting does not bother me. You've seen me doing the stuff around the bottom of the living room, that nailing those things in didn't bother me. I had been sitting on, the first day I sat on one thing and then I swapped to a bucket. The bucket was best. I tried sitting in the floor, but that was annoying because it probably wouldn't have been annoying if it hadn't been for all the sawdust and stuff. It's a construction zone. That's the problem. But so far, with all the things that I have been doing at the mobile home, nothing has made my back hurt worse. So that's good. And the only thing that has really irritated my back since my surgery with chores is doing the top cabinets in the kitchen. Otherwise, like, I can lift up the laundry basket. I only do like one load at a time. Changing the wet clothes to the dryer, that doesn't bother me. Cooking doesn't bother me. I have vacuumed the whole house, doesn't bother me. Mopping doesn't bother me. With a Swiffer mop thing, it hasn't bothered me. They're lightweight. Cleaning the bathroom has not bothered me. So pretty much I think it's just overextending is what the problem was. So I'm going to be really careful and start watching that a little bit more closely to see. But it's like that nerve has to heal, and if it may not heal, I may have pain forever. I don't know. But I have found that those things, you know, what does bother me and what doesn't. I have found that heat is the best thing for it if I do start hurting. I'm trying not to take any pain medicine. I've not taken the muscle relaxers. It's been a while. Over a month, I want to say, since I've taken them. I could still be taking them, but I'm not. Because he told me I could. And I actually have a refill for them if I need them. But I still have about 3/4 of them left. So, 3/4 of the first bottle. So I think that I'm okay. And I still have part of the pain medication left too. So I don't feel like I need that. So I'm just wanting to try to tell you things that I noticed that does bother me. And I do wonder, because I sit at my desk quite a bit of the day, I wonder if that desk chair all this time made it worse. I don't think that's what caused the problem, because I was having an issue before I bought the desk chair, and my back ache, my back pain was one of the reasons why I bought the desk chair. So yeah, that was a waste of money. I'm sure it's great for somebody, but not me. But anyway, I guess that is all of that I want to talk about. I don't really know of anything else I want to talk about. We are going back to Bucks today, but only to buy some of those vent covers. And also, Jeff's sister wants us to look for something for her. A few things. I have a list for her. So we're going to look. It's Kaylee's mom. So we're going to go do that today. Otherwise, I have a dentist appointment this week, which I was thinking was tomorrow, but it's Wednesday, not Tuesday. But, you know, I know that you're seeing this on Thursday. I try not to say the day that I'm in right now, because I don't want it to mix y'all up. Sometimes I'm afraid it would. But then again, some people will do YouTube and they like record weeks before and then they put it up, and it's like, wait, not the same date. It's not even close. Something else I did want to talk to y'all about. I had asked you guys what you thought about different things with Bible study, and you know, I was talking about that last time, and Anne Marie did mention the Our Daily Bread, but I need you, Anne Marie, if you're watching this, I need you to be a little bit more specific about what you mean. Are you meaning like doing a daily live stream or a weekly live stream? Because I don't know what you're talking about. She left a comment last week. Actually, I know the name of her channel, but I don't want to say it because I might be wrong. So I'm going to, let's see. When's the last time I have not looked at hardly any videos this weekend, so I don't know if she's uploaded this weekend or not. I'm looking at my subscriptions. And whenever I get the notifications on my phone, and I'm down at the mobile home or something, I just delete all the notifications, and I don't remember which one, like YouTube notifications like that. I don't even remember. When is the last time she uploaded? Well, okay, can't sit like that much longer. Oh no, what did I do? Stop it. Oh no, it went back to the start because I messed up. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. Okay, let me see. Or no, it didn't go back to the start. When is the last time she uploaded? She has been having some health problems. There it is. Big Dreams, Tiny Budget. Go check out her channel. I'll try to remember to link it below. I linked it below on one of my previous videos too. But anyways, I just need to know if you were talking about daily uploads, or daily live streams, or weekly. So there's that. And the other thing that I wanted to talk about is Gina had sent me a couple of different things that she has that she was talking about that, you know, she enjoyed. So there is a book that she recommended. As Biblical Womanhood. Okay, my camera quit, but Gina had recommended Biblical Womanhood, a study guide. It's like $4.95 on Amazon, $1.49 for Kindle, but it's $4.95 for the paperback. I'm gonna put it on my list, on my store thing, in my books part, so that if you guys want to check that out, you can. She recommended two, but I've ordered the one. I haven't received it yet, but I would think, as well as I know her, I trust her I trust her judgment. That's what I'm trying to say. So we're gonna look into maybe doing that. I don't know if it's, let's see, let's read it. This is a 12-week course intended to teach young women what God wants them to be taught about biblical womanhood. All right, here's the thing. We're all young women. We all need to know. If we don't know, we need to know. I had to learn this stuff after I had already gotten married and had children. I don't know if it's the same stuff. We're going to find out if we do it together. The church needs older women to step up to the plate and begin obeying God in this area. What if older women feel disqualified? If you are a godly older woman, you are qualified according to God. Here are the qualifications for older women. That they be in a behavior, not false accusers. That they be in behavior, not false accusers, not given to much wine, teachers of good things, Titus 2:3. And it's based on the Titus 2 example, and that is one thing that I really have been wanting to talk about more on my channel, with the Bible studies. Let's see. Let's read the rest of it. And the good things they are commanded to teach are listed in Titus 2:4 and 5, that they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husband, to love their children, to be discreet, chaste, keepers at home, good, obedient to their own husbands, that the word of God be not blasphemed. And the thing is, I know it's talking about husbands and all of that, but I don't think it has to be for someone who is married or who is going to get married. I think biblical womanhood is for all women. Like, we all need to learn how to be a biblical woman, because okay, let me just say this. There are some women who may not ever be able to have children because they just can't. They can't bear children. But maybe they have nieces or nephews that they are mothering, in a sense, or even have custody of, or something like that. You never know. So we need to know how to be godly mothers, even if we're not only mothering our own children, because I feel like we are mothering all children who come into our lives, and we need to know how to do it from a biblical standpoint. Now, the reason why I have been hesitant about doing any studies that are about wives or mothers is because I know that some of you have lost your husbands, or you have never been married. And so those ladies, I feel like if you have lost your husbands, maybe you could teach us. Maybe you could be the voice that helps whenever, like, maybe if you could chime in and say, well, this is how I did this when my husband was alive, or, whatever. Or maybe you're a single woman who has chosen to be single, or maybe you just haven't gotten to that stage of your life yet where you have gotten married, because you might be younger. I don't know what all ages watch me. I know some of the ages, but that's only the ones that I talk to on a regular basis that comment. So I've been nervous about sharing Bible studies that target wives and mothers. And that's the reason why, because I know some of you can't have children, or you're out of that phase of life. My children are grown. I'll never say I'm done raising my children, because I feel like a mother is always a mother, and you'll always be mothering your babies. But it's totally different now than it was when they were 2, 5, 12, that kind of thing. It's totally different life season for me. So would you want me to do studies on biblical motherhood, what womanhood? Would you want to do that? Because I don't care if we have children or if we're married or whatever, we still need to know how to be biblical women in all of today's world. That's just the way it is. We need to know that, there's some women who, like I said, you might have already gone through the season of mothering the little ones like me. Maybe you can help the younger ones and say, hey, well, I did this, and this is the scripture that helped me, that kind of thing. Also, I feel like women who have been married and they lost their husbands, they can be that voice who comes in and says, well, my husband and I did it this way and it worked better for us, or we did this and we really regretted it, or, you know, you can tell us from a biblical perspective what you did to help your marriage or to harm your marriage, you know, and that way we can help people know what to do and what not to do. I feel like the Titus 2 mandate is what I'm going to call it. That Titus 2 thing it's for all women who are further along in their Christian walk than others. And I don't feel like you have to be an older woman to actually teach younger women. I do believe that is a big part of it. I believe that older women are supposed to teach younger women, but we have come away from that in society. I know that, okay, I assume from things I've been told that my mama was not taught by her mama how to do a lot of things in the home. I know that I was not taught how to do certain things in the home. Like, it's just something that we're not taught. And that is one reason why we go to YouTube or Google or this book or that book or whatever, because there was a point in the years where that changed, and it didn't change because women just chose for it to be that way. It's just the way society went. That's the way I feel anyway. Things got easier. There was more women having to work. They didn't have a choice. They had to work to support their families while their husbands were doing, like, they were in war, or maybe they lost their husbands in a war, or just, you know, there's lots of reasons. So we have lost the art of older women teaching younger women on a consistent basis. And normally, it seems to me, in my experience, that an older woman, that, how do I want to say this? It seems like now, unless the younger woman comes and asks for help, that the older woman feels like they are going to be, wow, that squirrel just scared me. I'm sorry. I was being serious, but then a squirrel jumped over there and it freaked out my eyeball brains and stuff. But okay, it feels to me that an older woman feels like she might be imposing if she steps in to try to help a younger woman. I don't think that any woman should step in and try to tell somebody how to do something. But if you're telling someone how you did something in your life and giving them a helpful example, and not saying, well, you shouldn't do it that way because that's not the way I did it. You don't do that. That's nasty. You should help the younger women in a biblical way. And if it's coming from the Bible, and I don't mean some kind of legalistic thing that people have twisted. I mean, if it's coming from the Bible, you're not going to get it wrong most of the time. But yeah, a lot of times now, older women don't step in because they feel like maybe they're stepping on toes. And it does seem to me, women my age, a lot of them, even me, years ago, were like, I don't need any help. You know, you can't tell me how to do that. You know, that kind of thing. And the only time I actually did want help is whenever I went and asked for it. It's like the dynamic somehow changed. And we, and I'm only speaking from my experience. I'm speaking from what I see. But the dynamic somehow changed, where that it used to be that the girls, sorry, that the girls were being taught by their mothers. Sorry. That's what I get for not being up very long. But anyway, it seems to me like where there was a point where the girls were in the kitchen with their mothers, they were in the home with their mothers, they were being taught how to sew, and they were at their mama's skirt tails or whatever you want to call it. They were there, or dress tails or whatever, being taught, and the mothers made a point to teach their children. There was a point where that changed because society changed. And honestly, I don't think it's because the mothers didn't want to teach their children. I think the mothers still wanted to teach their children, but maybe they didn't know how. Or maybe they didn't have the experience themselves. I don't know. It's just like a whole thing that's confusing to me, and I'm trying to learn myself. But somewhere along the line, Titus 2 mandate kind of went out the window, it seems. And I know that when I was a young Christian, when I first, before, okay, y'all know that I was in church, I was reading my Bible, I was doing all the things that a Christian was supposed to do. I was in a very legalistic church. I didn't understand a lot of things. I didn't have any kind of discipleship. And I really feel like that's part of the reason why that I walked away from the Lord, because I wasn't where I needed to be because I didn't know how to get there, if that makes sense. And I'm not just talking about, homemaking and stuff. I'm talking about life whenever I'm talking about the Titus 2 mandate. But I didn't have that. And I feel like the older women in church need to, like, when a new Christian female comes along, they need to be helping them, guiding them, not berating them, not making them feel less than, but helping them to learn how to be a biblical woman. And I can honestly say I am still learning how to be a biblical woman, and I am still fighting a lot of the things that can harm a marriage, can harm a relationship with a mother and her children, can harm friendships, can harm lots of things. I am still learning all those things. So biblical womanhood isn't just about being a good wife and mama. I think that's where I was trying to go with all of this. And right now, I don't even know what all I've said. I do that a lot lately. I have a whole conversation with myself and I don't even know what I said to myself. Not really, I'm talking to y'all. But I have a lot to say, but I don't know how to say it sometimes. And I also over-explain, and I try to not offend, but I don't think I will. But if you're interested in learning from books like this, or me doing things like that on the channel, let me know. And this is a really affordable study for 12 weeks for $5. That's not bad, but I'm not telling you to buy it. I'm not saying we're for sure going to do it. But you guys can look at it because it's on my Amazon thing now. And if it's something you would like to do, you can just let me know. How about that? Wow. All that for that. Let's get to this one, because I'm a mess today. I seem to be over explaining. Okay, so this is week 48. We don't have many left, y'all. I gotta hurry up and make a decision. I've already decided that if I don't have a decision by the end of this, we're just gonna do like one of the short books of the Bible or something. But week 48, we have 4 weeks after this. Getting back to where I was. Wow. I need to get back to where I was earlier because I forgot what all I said to y'all. I might not even finish sentences today. Day 1, well, y'all don't need to know the days. Ezra 1 through 10, Nehemiah 1 through 7, no, 1 through 10, 1 through 13. Nehemiah 1 through 13. I saw the Nehemiah 4 through 7 highlighted because that's the focus today, and I got confused. Alright, the book of Nehemiah comes on the heels of the Jews' return to Jerusalem after the Babylonian exile ended. But while hundreds of men were rebuilding the wall around Jerusalem and guarding against attacks from their enemies, their home life was in jeopardy. A famine had hit so hard that they had to mortgage their land just to get food for their families. The problem was that the nobles and officials lending them the money would charge them the highest interest rate, and many of the men had to sell their children into slavery to pay off debt. Even when you're doing the work of the Lord, life still happens. I feel like something is crawling on me. Y'all, I don't even know. The enemy couldn't get them one way, but he sure found a way in. He attacked their families. That's how the enemy is. If he can't get you one way, he'll get you another. The key is in how you handle the attack. Nehemiah 5:1 says that there was an outcry, and the men and their wives began to share their problems with Nehemiah. They cared about their families and their homes. They cared enough about their families and their homes to fight on their behalf. They weren't afraid to tell Nehemiah what they needed. They didn't just accept what was going on. They had been putting their time in on the wall for the good of everyone. Surely that had to count for something. So they got up the nerve to tell the truth and asked for what seemed to be the hard thing. We all have to get to a place where we stop hiding behind the mask and tell the truth. If you're hurt, say you're hurt. If you're having a hard time making ends meet, say you're having a hard time making ends meet. Be honest with yourself and with God. Many of us have gotten off track and lost our focus. Many of us have lost some of ourselves because we've been pulled in other directions. We've lost our zeal. We've lost a little of our peace. We might have even lost the desire to persevere. Wow, that kind of goes in with what I was saying, where we lost part of the things that society, and whenever I said that earlier about men, about women, like the moms going to work, the men didn't, they weren't teaching their sons either. Like, society has changed. I'm not talking about this, I'm talking about what I was talking about earlier. I meant to say that and I forgot. But men in society, somewhere along the line, stopped teaching their sons too. That's why you don't see guys opening doors for women as much as they used to. That's why you don't see men disciplining their children like you used to. It goes with both ways. I'm just a female, so that's the only experience I have, is being a female. So I can't really tell you from the men's perspective, but I know that things were, they're different for men as well as women nowadays. But let's go back to this study. Okay. Now be honest with God and tell him what you want. Tell him your heart's desire. Don't be afraid to ask God for the hard thing. James 4:2 says, you do not have because you do not ask. If we're going to get where we need to be, we can't be afraid to ask for it. God wants to bring about restoration in our lives, but we have to be honest and we have to have an honest moment with ourselves, then trust God to do what no other power is able to do. The thing is, we do have to stop denying that we're having problems. I know for years, I would just deal with stuff. I would never tell Jeff anything. I would struggle along. And then I got to the point where I started realizing that I was resenting Jeff for not caring about my problems. But God was like, you didn't tell him your problems. You didn't say you were having problems. You can't blame this man for something you did that you didn't do, for something you've done. You can't say, well, he doesn't care about how I feel if you don't tell him how you feel. You know what I'm saying? And that's just an example I'm giving. This is not the only thing that happens. Like, you can do it like with a job. You can be having some issues with a coworker and never tell that coworker that you're having the issue. And whose fault is it? It's yours for not actually saying, hey, this bothers me that you're doing this. Or going to your boss and saying, hey, I've been working here so-and-so amount of time. It's time for a raise, isn't it? You promised this, or whatever. You know, it's just some examples. But with me, it was like, I had this chip on my shoulder because Jeff didn't meet my needs, when it was my own fault for not telling him my needs. He can't read my mind. Nobody can read our minds. There's no such thing as a mind reader. So we have to let people know what our problems are. Because sometimes it can be an obvious problem where they see it, where they see you struggling, but they may not feel like they can come and offer help because you are not the type of person that seems open to help. Maybe you are the type of person that's the I can do it by myself kind of person, and I don't need your help kind of person, and they can feel that when you're not vulnerable, you don't humble yourself. And in all actuality, most of the time, those people are the ones who need the most help because they're trying to be so strong that they won't ask. They won't ask for help. So we need to be able to go to the ones who can do what we need, you know, that can help, that we can maybe they can relieve some of our struggle, some of our pain. But I know there's times in my life where that I have like sat down with Jeff and talked to him about something, and he didn't even understand why I was the way I was. Maybe there's been times that it had to do with the way I was raised. It had something to do with, you know, something that happened to me in childhood or something like that. Or, you know, there was some kind of mental thing that that's not right. It's not, well, yeah, it is mental, but, I had a reason why I did things the way I did them. And I always felt misunderstood about those things. And the reason why I'm not naming one specific thing is because this has occurred to me a lot. But then whenever I go and I explain to Jeff why that I need him to do something one certain way and why it bothers me when he doesn't, it's like, oh, okay, I get that. And then we move on, and he can do things the way that, you know, we can compromise and figure out the best way to help both of us. Because there have been times in our past, this is one way we've gotten to the point where we don't argue all the time. There were times in our past, and I talked about a little bit about, you know, marriage at different times on my channel with our marriage, where we used to argue a lot. And once we decided we needed to start talking to each other, it was different. It was, we could help each other because we understood why we did certain things the way we did them. And we felt more comfortable around each other too. I mean, you can be married to somebody for 50 years and not feel comfortable around them. And that's sad. And I feel comfortable around Jeff now. And there were times where I didn't feel comfortable. I might have looked comfortable. I might have looked the part, but I did not feel it. I didn't feel like I could talk to him because I was taught that men are the enemy. Men are, this is what's really crazy. Pretty much from different people in my life, I was taught that you needed to be married, you should be married, but don't trust the man. Watch out. He's going to hurt you no matter what you do. And I'm like, so confused. It's like you marry someone who you're supposed to be able to trust forever, but you don't trust them. It's weird, I know, but that's the way some things. It's a feminist thing partially. I think it's a mixture of feminine or feminist thoughts and conservative thoughts, and it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. But anyway, yeah, there were times where that Jeff didn't understand why I did things a certain way, why I would get upset if something wasn't put back in a certain place, or when something wasn't done a certain way. And, you know, if it was my thing, I needed it to be done the way I wanted it done, you know. So we would argue and all that stuff. But then once I told him the reason why I felt that way, it was totally different. Because in his mind, it was a little thing. It wasn't a big deal. It was like, well, you just put it there. Just move it yourself. It's fine. It's not even that hard, you know. But we all have these things that we have to deal with. And these people were dealing with things, and they found they could go to someone that could help them. And that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to humble ourselves. And it was definitely a humbling experience to go to my husband and explain to him all these things whenever, quite honestly, I felt that all these things in my mind that meant I was absolutely nuts, that I was crazy. But he helped me to understand that I wasn't crazy. Because, see, that's what I did for years. I told myself I was crazy because I felt that way. Because he didn't feel that way. And then we would argue. Because I felt like I was crazy. I didn't want to be crazy. What was crazy is me not telling him. Tell somebody. I don't even know if that's what the study was about. I really don't. That's just what I got from it. I don't know if that's what they were trying, you know, she was trying to point out, but we do need to go to somebody. We need to go to somebody else for help. And, you know, that's one reason why the Titus 2 thing is a good thing, because we can go to someone else. And Titus is not just about women. It's about men too, and boys, you know, it's about, you know, helping the youngers. So anyways, I guess that's all of that for now. Next week is week 49. It's Go For It. Galatians 1 through 6, Ephesians 1 through 6, Philippians 1 through 4, Colossians 1 through 4, 1 Thessalonians 1 through 5, and 2 Thessalonians 1 through 3. I will put it all down in the description box, so don't try to keep up with my fast talking. But that's what we're supposed to be reading for next time. I hope that this video was okay. I hope it made some sense. I hope it didn't, like, irritate you. I'm a bit irritated at myself because I don't even know what all I've said. I will go back through when I'm editing this video, and sometimes I'm like, why did I say that? Other times I'm like, oh, that does make sense. But, you know, it may only make sense to me because it's coming from my brain. It may not make any sense to you at all. You might think I'm a nutso, but that's okay too. I used to think I was crazy too. Now I know I am. But I'm the good crazy. Actually, Jeff used that on me the other day. Whenever he called me crazy, he said, you just call yourself crazy all the time. And I said, yeah, but that's different. He said, no, but you're the good crazy. So I couldn't say anything to him. But anyway, I will see you guys next time. I hope this was okay. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got something from it. If you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. If you like the channel, where there's all sorts of things happening here, not just one thing, go ahead and subscribe and hit the bell to be notified whenever I upload. If you know someone who would like to watch a channel with all sorts of things on it, or maybe just pick a few of their videos, you know, maybe you like cooking and I do cooking and you watch those, but you don't watch any of the rest. Or maybe you like the Bible studies, but you don't want to watch anything else. That's okay too. Maybe you like grocery hauls, but you don't like anything else. Just watch those. It's fine. You don't have to watch everything I do. It's up to you, because you're in control. Once you subscribe, you're in control. But if you know anyone who would like it, go ahead and share. Most importantly, leave me a comment down below. Let me know how you're doing. If you have a prayer request, leave that down below as well, and I'll add you to my list, and I do pray for you. And if you have an unspoken request, you can leave that down below as well. Just put, I have an unspoken request. I don't have to know what you want me to pray about. God knows. That's all that matters. I don't have to know your business. He knows your business. He knows before you ask. But either way, we're still supposed to pray. And if you have a request that you don't want to put on a public comment, you can just send me an email. My email is down in the description box. So, you know, it's always there, if that's what you want to do. And remember, don't take any wooden nickels, and be sweet.